Rachel, I was just kind of staring. Oh, now we're live.
Now we're live.
Now we're live. I was just staring at the window saying, hey, the rain stopped for a minute. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, which I'm happy about. I ran errands in the rain yesterday. That is not my favorite thing to do in the dark in the rain.
No,
Not my favorite thing. Just being
no.
honest.
I had to walk in the rain last night, and
Oh,
I had put my walk off. We've kind of been walking more in the evening after dinner, which is really nice. I love digesting my food that way, talking with my husband. It's cold, it's fresh, it's crisp. All the Christmas lights are up. But by the time we got out for a walk, it was like,
yeah.
and we had committed to it. So we were like, okay, here we go. Like all the stuff, the umbrella, Not
Good
also
for
not my favorite.
you. Way to go, keeping your commitment. Yeah, that would be a
Ooh.
challenge here because there are absolutely no street lights where I live.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're on a road that would be a little dangerous.
It would be dangerous. So,
Mhm.
I feel proud of myself when I go check them. I walk the whatever quarter mile to check the mail, but I make sure I have light.
Yes.
But, yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, good for you. Yeah, walking after dinner is a great habit to
Mhm.
get
Mhm.
into. And so good for
Mhm.
you. Just
Well, here's
uh,
what my husband and I were actually talking about this because we both love a good dark chocolate, and we both get the munchies after dinner, like I think probably 90% of the human
mhm,
population does.
mhm,
You want a little something sweet after dinner, and you're sitting there watching a show, or you're reading a book, or whatever you're doing, and it's kind of that we get those munchies. But
mhm,
if you go for a walk,
yeah,
and we're up to 45 minutes now. That's a long time. By the time
yeah,
we get back, I'm ready to brush my teeth, get in bed, do my
yeah,
nighttime routine.
right.
I'm not thinking about food in the least at that
Uh-huh.
point. There are
Yeah,
no
that's
cravings there.
yeah.
So we were talking about it's actually been, we didn't start walking for that reason, but it's had a
Mhm,
really nice side effect of
mm,
way less
mhm.
snacking or munching
Yes.
in the evening.
The positive unintended consequences
Yes.
of yeah, and I
Hmm.
love when people can do something hard,
Hmm.
and then they see all the benefit. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm,
It feels nice.
yeah.
So, mhm.
Speaking of hard, Rachel,
Yeah, let's go there.
December can be really hard. I'm just going to say it out
Mhm.
loud for so
Very
many
challenging.
reasons. Yeah, it can be
Mhm,
really challenging because days are the shortest, right?
mhm.
It's dark. I mean, we're going to work in the dark. We're coming home from the dark. We're running these errands in the dark.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then there's the holidays, and holidays
Mhm.
can be fun and festive, but they are full of fabulous food. I'm
So
not
much fabulous
referring
food. Too much, nice segue. Way too much fabulous food and fabulous food pushers and
right.
food traps and um, out of the ordinary routines, getting to bed too late, waking up too early,
Hmm.
multiple events in a week sometimes
Right.
where you would normally never do that many active things. And we
Right.
wonder why we're exhausted. We have higher cravings. We're a little bit maybe depressive.
Right.
We feel like we have no willpower to do any of our normal routines. But if we
Hmm.
stop and think about how much we're asking of ourselves, of our
Hmm.
bodies, our minds, our spirits, and our families,
Hmm.
all condensed in this November to December sort of window, man,
Yeah.
it's no wonder.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah. So how have you learned to help yourself, and
Mhm.
how do you encourage others? Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Yeah. So,
Mhm,
if you've been following along, we are still in our diet mentality versus lifestyle
mhm,
mentality series. And we're talking about, so last week, this week, and next week, we'll be talking about the holidays and the holiday hacks and things. Um, Last week, we talked about uh, food traps in particular and food pushers and some strategies, and we have some resources on the linked to this video that you can go follow for a PDF download, for other videos, for some articles. But today we thought we would kind of gear our conversation towards what is life-giving and what is life-draining.
Right.
And this is a concept I use in my own personal life, January through December. And I use it with coaching, when clients take on the permission to design their life based on what's life-giving and what is life-draining. It's freeing for them. But then I think specifically, if we could really dial in to the holidays, we don't have to do everything, even if it all sounds fun, or there's a part of us that wants to. If we really get honest and say, okay, what are the types of things I've done in the past that truly brought me joy, peace, love, harmony, fun, excitement, sense of community? Let's pick some of those. And what, let's be honest, in the past have I done that has been life draining, has been too frustrating, overwhelming, too expensive. I didn't really enjoy. I didn't feel like I was using my time well, or I did it just to please other people, and it didn't feel good, like a good way of helping and serving others. Maybe we can start to draw some boundaries and choose. If I'm going to pick a number, am I going to do 2 extra events this month or 5? Pick a number and then just really intentionally choose what will it be, and when does it make sense? And gosh, when you do that, your calendar suddenly has elbow room. Suddenly you have space and margin for enjoying a Christmas movie with your family, or enjoying the twinkle lights, or sleeping a little bit more. It can feel really nice, but we got to be intentional about it. Tell me about how that's worked for you in the past.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, well, right. It's interesting because we've been forced to slow down this December.
Yep, you have.
We've been forced to do that. And people are understanding when when we're having to say no to this beautiful invitation or whatever. So it's kind of been an interesting twist, and like, wow, maybe next year I don't have to have this health issue that's a lot. Maybe I can just say no, because that's how it's helping me, enjoy more, right? Enjoy the season more, so anyway, if that makes sense. Yeah,
it does. You're experiencing it real time, and it sounds like you're getting curious about what could this look like next year when we don't have a health excuse, right? That everyone, of course, is understanding, and no feelings would ever be hurt. But do I have to have an excuse, a health emergency, in order to draw boundaries around my time, my health, my capacity?
My capacity. It is true. The capacity, that is such, we are, as human beings, we are capable of many, many things, and great things and awesome things. So, I mean, I don't always want to give ourselves a little way out, but on the other hand, we don't have to go.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah. I think the question to ask ourselves is to what degree and to what end? What am I getting out of this? And I don't just mean that like in a selfish way, but does this meet my life values and my mission in life?
Right. Yeah, my mission.
Does it serve others in a way that feels life-giving to me as well?
Right.
Sometimes we sacrifice, but we want to choose the sacrifice, right, in a way that doesn't harm or damage. That if you choose it, then build boundary around it and say, okay, this is going to take a lot out of me. This is going to be hard, or it's going to cost a lot of money, or it's going to be exhausting. I'm choosing that because it's in alignment with my values of life. But because of that, I can't do this and this and this and this and this.
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Or maybe I don't want to. I want to create capacity. I love I heard someone once say, just leaving room for the spontaneous.
Mm.
You're making margin
Yeah.
really for others or for yourself. And when we pack our lives so full,
Right.
there's no room for the
Bro.
spontaneous
Right.
phone call
Right.
or the
Yeah.
random person who stops by your house.
Right, so true. Yeah, and then
Mhm.
there's no room for a hiccup. There's no room for, like,
Ah,
something goes wrong, and
mm.
then how does that a downward spiral, how does that suck the life out of me? So if I've scheduled I'm going to this party and then this and this and this in a bit, and then I get a flat tire. I mean, how does that derail?
Whew.
Right.
Mhm. Ooh, and I love the word derail
Mm,
because that's a real thing. We know what that feels like to feel derailed.
mhm,
And that can really spiral with stress, emotion, emotional eating, emotional
mhm,
outbursts.
right.
And it can take, guys, a stressful event can take not just a couple of hours to recover and back to homeostasis. It can take a day or 2 days or a week,
Mhm,
depending on your stress levels going into the event. A stress cycle takes time. Your body actually cycles through a stress event. And based on where you were, where was your baseline already,
mhm,
and
right.
what are your coping skills in the moment and afterwards? Do you have the
Mhm,
support and the coping skills
mhm,
kind of in place to manage it? These stressful events don't just come and go.
mhm,
They leave their mark for a while
mhm.
on our just overall sense of well-being, on our minds, our emotions. So yeah, that margin can feel life-giving to kind of know that
Right.
there's
Yeah.
room for error.
Mhm. Yeah, so true.
Mm,
Yeah, as far as life giving, um, I think, sometimes some people have the tradition of giving gifts and things like
mhm.
that. So, and then a lot of time and energy and mental and anguish and, you know, can be that can also suck the life out of us too,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah,
And
and the
then
money
and
out of
you're
our
right, and
pocket.
when things are draining, like,
Mhm.
"Oh, what am I gonna give this person?" Or, "Okay, that person, I know they're always gonna give me blah, blah, blah." To your point, it really can lend itself to that nibbling,
Mm,
that
mhm.
just, relieving some of that anxiety with some comfort, from food that maybe I'm not really hungry for. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
And that's where I think the traps come in. The food
mhm,
traps and the food pushers and all of that. We come into, if you celebrate Christmas Eve or Christmas and even New Year's, those are at the end of the holidays. So we've been going, going, going all month and exhausted, 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 and then suddenly we screech into these 3 days that are right at the end of the year, um, kind of on fumes. you know,
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
willpower depleted, sleep is depleted. We're probably malnourished. We've
Mhm.
overeaten but undernourished,
Right.
so we're likely not functioning and with all
Mhm.
pistons firing.
Right.
And then we're asking of ourselves to make healthy choices or to not overeat or overdrink or get in a fight with Uncle Fred, you know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so life giving versus
Mhm.
life draining. Uh,
Mhm.
when you think about those words, do they seem obvious to you? I'm curious what when you think about your world, could you quickly kind of identify, like even at the top level, oh, this is life giving, this is life draining.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, for me, um, I like to do some things around the holiday season that I don't usually do,
Hmm.
and, and it could be is something as simple, and it has to do with the dark and everything, like putting
Hmm.
a puzzle together. With
Mm,
yeah. So having a puzzle out and then, whoever drops by or if the kids come and, um, we sit down and enjoy a little puzzle together. So I don't know, for whatever reason, that puzzling is
yeah.
life-giving to me. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Well,
Mhm.
what an out of pocket example, right? That's probably not what it wasn't on my mind that you were going
Yeah.
to say that. Nobody else was probably thinking that. And yet, what an incredible idea. Slow you down, a
Mhm.
conversation across the table, using
Mhm.
your brain in a way that's expansive and creative.
Mhm.
It's something you wouldn't normally do, so it's fun, but it
Yeah.
doesn't sound like it's demanding of
Right.
you. It's not a deeply demanding
Yeah.
activity.
All right. Yeah.
Hmm.
The most stressful part is to choose the puzzle.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one?
Which one? Which one?
So I probably choose 3 and then I get
Hmm.
to do 1. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, so yeah. Um, yeah. So Sarah is joining us and she says
Oh,
this year holiday invites were so demanding that she found herself declining
mm,
several. So yeah.
ah. And I
Mhm.
wonder how that feels. I wonder if Sarah might take a moment and just uh, breathe into those choices,
Mhm.
um, accept them and acknowledge them, and maybe give herself some credit, a pat on the back for maybe
Mhm.
some hard conversations or
Mhm.
some, sometimes we say no and we're like, oh, we're kind of
Mhm.
bummed about it.
Yeah,
We know it's going
yeah,
to be the right choice, but it's
right.
like, oh, and that's
Yeah,
okay. That's okay.
yeah,
We can enjoy the joy of missing out just
right.
as much as we can stress from the fear of missing out, the
Yeah,
joy of missing out.
yes, yeah, so Sarah says
Mm,
it feels amazing, and she's telling herself it's okay.
mm,
I can't be everything to everyone. She
yeah.
did go to some, but just not all. And so,
Oh,
yeah, and that fear of missing out is so real, right?
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
It
Um,
really is.
mhm.
Yeah, I think we have to just acknowledge and accept and
Yeah.
really, be okay with it. It's
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
okay that I don't like missing out. All humans
Yeah.
have a sense of that to some degree or
Right. Yeah,
another.
you don't have to beat yourself up because
No,
you're
there's
afraid of
nothing
missing
wrong with
out.
you. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you.
No.
You want to be with your people. You want to have the fun. You want to enjoy the thing. We're pack animals. We like to do fun, exciting things. Um, and it just is what it is. That fear of
Mhm,
missing out is a thing, but when we can manage it well, like it sounds like Sarah
mhm,
has, it sounds like, or
mhm,
at least she's working on that. This is maybe
mhm,
perhaps a new practice she's working on of
mhm.
really choosing wisely what she does.
Yeah.
Um, I think about we've talked before about this, like close-fisted and open-fisted.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when we feel close-fisted about an event or a function, we're
Mhm,
closed-minded, and
mhm.
that's where stress lies, right? And it has to
Right.
be
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
This is expectation. This is perfectionism. When
Mhm,
we can kind of approach a lot of these things with like it's okay.
mhm,
What will be will be. If you get a flat tire and you were headed to a party, oh well,
mhm.
okay,
Right.
right? It's going to
Yeah.
be okay.
That's so good, Rachel, because I think of that as like, if I accepted every invitation, I'm gonna show up, you may be frustrated, irritated, wanting, when can I
Mhm.
go kind of thing. But
Yeah.
if I pick and choose and I make a
Mm.
and then I can show up like,
Ooh,
what do I have to
abundant.
give? Yeah. What do I have to give? I have
Ah,
so much more to offer, you
yes.
know, and then ability to receive.
Mm. Mhm. Oh, I mean, literally, as you described that, I could feel the sense of what that difference is, because in my own mind, I was picturing myself having shown up to parties where I probably should have said no. I didn't have the time. I squeezed it into something, and now I'm irritable and frustrated, and I'm in no position to be with any people. I shouldn't be in people's they don't want me around anyway. Like I'm in no shape for this. But when I do go where it's I've planned for it, I've created margin for it, and I'm excited with full energy.
Yeah.
Whoa, the way I can show up for myself and for people authentically and in a relaxed, open state. Ooh, there's a difference. There's a total
Mhm.
difference there.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm,
So, may I share, one
yes,
thing that I'm excited about, one
please.
invitation I did accept, and then I'm excited about, and I'm gonna show up. It's tonight, it's this evening, it's 6:30.
Mm.
Um, it's a dinner, and it's a slow food,
I know what you're talking about. I wanted to go, but I can't go.
I'll tell you all about it. You can have a shared experience with me. vicarious experience. But yes, so there's this organization called Slow Food, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna romanticize the starting of it. But it's an international organization, and there's chapters all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I picture this French chef coming out of his very bougie restaurant, for a smoke break, because they smoke in France.
Right.
That's okay. Anyway, no judgment. But anyway, don't smoke, people. Don't smoke.
Don't stop.
But anyway, yeah, and he's coming out of his very bougie restaurant where people are just having a great time, enjoying Mediterranean. You're just spending 2-3 hours around the table, and he looks over and he spots the Pizza Hut going in, across the piazza or the plaza or whatever you call it in French, and he's like, "Sacre," whatever you say, "Sacre bleu," whatever. He's like, "No, this can't be. Zut alors." And so he starts this slow food organization where people really enjoy gathering around food, knowing where it's come from, knowing the chef comes out and says, describes how he was inspired. And and these people are, maybe you don't even know them, so you sit across the table with people and just enjoy food and conversation at very slow pace. Yes
It's gonna be, I'm so excited that you're going. This is at a local, beautiful, fine dining restaurant in Albany, which I've actually never been to before.
I've never been to it either. So
but the chef is very well known in our area. I think he's actually internationally known because I think he was on some chef's show one time. I think he won.
Okay, cool beans. Yeah, I'll find out more. Yeah,
find out. But how exciting, local, and it's an event, so it's an experience. But you're eating, and that's gonna be good. So that's dinner for you tonight.
That's dinner for me. What's for dinner for you?
Mine just stinks in comparison. Because here's what's for dinner for me. Nothing unless one of us gets to the grocery store before dinner time. So remember a couple weeks ago, you ate your way through your pantry and your whatever. We've been doing that for the last 2 weeks, and we're about, it's going to be just a can of beans at this point. So I could do that. I could eat a can of beans, and I could probably cook up some rice. I have no veggies. I got no fruit. we got nothing. So I got some frozen peas, probably.
You sound like Mother Hubbard over there.
Yeah. And in fact, last night we took the last of our frozen, remember I told you I have meal planning, the last of our frozen meals out of the freezer. We ate those last night. So I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. And clearly I need to do a food prep day. It's time for another big food prep day.
Yeah.
So you're going to be eating.
Which, so Rachel, I know that you have skills. You've got skills, and you're going to either. I want to know what you forage, or if you get to the grocery store. But speaking of prep, I'm just throwing this out there. Just throwing it out there. Okay, because we have started experimenting with our CHOW, our Culinary Health of Oregon Weight and Wellness, and we've experimented with. We've tried this and tried that. But what I'm thinking of that would be super beneficial for a lot of people is if we chose one Saturday a month, or maybe every other month. I don't know what it's going to look like, and we do food prep. And we invite people. That can't be a huge bunch because we, unless we find another location. But we do food prep together, and everybody goes home with 5, meals, whether you have it in separate containers or just, the food separately or put together. So, it'd be like 2 hours on a Saturday or something like that. So anyway, it's kind of percolating in my brain.
I love it. Okay.
Because most of us need help in this area, Rachel. Yeah. Batch cooking, meal prep, just kind of thinking ahead so we're not caught, with a default which could be something that's not nourishing and life-giving. Yeah.
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 And like I had mentioned last time, that there's nothing like having something frozen in the freezer that I've pre-made with love, and I'm short on time, or I didn't make a meal, and I can go to that. So
Yeah.
whether it's food prepping so you can stock your freezer for things like that, or food prepping just so that you can get through the week, or
Yeah.
what a difference it makes. Okay, well,
Okay.
you've put it out there.
Okay.
You heard it. If you're interested, drop her a line at
Yes.
organdfitmamas.com, and let's
That's right.
see what comes of it. Let's see what we can design here.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Well, enjoy your day, the rest of your day.
And my mystery dinner.
Mystery dinner, yes. TBD, yes. And
Yes.
then I will be back. We'll be back next Thursday, and I'll be
Thursday.
happy to share about my yummy culinary experience. So
please do. All right, everybody, have a great day.
bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.